Good evening, everyone. I'm really honored and so lucky. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So I'm really honored and I feel really lucky amidst you to give a talk in this August audience. You all seem to be such well-read people. So thanks to the well-wishers who have introduced me to this audience. Thank you. In the last year, I think most of us were confined to the home. And in spite of that, and even otherwise, all of you are so well read and you would have listened to various speeches. I'm like a toddler in front of all these things. So I'll be taking just a few baby steps. So please accept me and listen to me for the next 1 hour. Thank you. Today, the topic what I have chosen is life in life. I'm not going to speak something new. I'm not going to speak something totally new. I'll be talking or I'll be speaking the same words or what you have learned or what you have heard by various speakers, great speakers. So we will just dwell upon those words and thoughts talked by all other people. So today, in the topic of life in life, I'll be using the life as an acronym. Is the screen visible to you? Hope you can see the screen.
Yes, it's very clear. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. So let's go ahead. So once we talk about the life, so we start with the human life. So we are talking about the human life. So human life Jantunam Narajanma Durlabham. It's a very rare privilege of being born as a human being. Amongst the creatures, amongst the Jantus, Narajanma, to become a human being is very rare, Durlabham. Labhva Sudurlabhamidam Bahusambhavante Manushya Artadamanityamapiha Dhiraha. Manushyam, to get a human life. Durlabham, Sudurlabham, very rare. Bahusambhavante, after many deaths, many births and many deaths, one could obtain a human life. So, though it is anityam, it is impermanent. In spite of that, so many other living beings generally eat, sleep, procreate, enjoy the sensual pleasures, but a human body, having obtained the human body, we can do something more. Artadam, Manushyam Artadam. So let us make a little more purposeful life. Let's have a supreme purpose in life when we have obtained this human body. Aridu, Manidar Adal Aridu. This again emphasizes that of all the births, to get a human birth is very rare. The first verse is said by great Adi Shankara in his Viveka Chudamani, and the next one by the sage Veda Vyasa in Srimad Bhagavatam, and the third one by the great Tamil poet Auvayar. All these people emphasize the same thing. There are many more poets and great leaders who have talked about the rarity or the preciousness of human life. I have just picked up a few to enumerate the value of human life. So having obtained that, let's not waste it. Let's not waste the precious human life. Though temporary, The human birth alone can afford one the opportunity to attain the highest perfection, or we can evolve better. Depending on the type of karma bound in human life, one may be reborn as a human being, or as a celestial being, or even as an animal or plant. Knowledge. Animals are instinctive, whereas humans have intellect. With the intelligence, human can think and choose wisely every step to gain the knowledge. It's very easy to see that. I can give you an example, simple example, which says that in a mirror room, a room filled with mirrors, if a dog happens to enter into the room, it can see its multiple reflection. Seeing that, it may start barking, thinking that many other dogs are engulfing it. The dog can bark. Seeing the other dogs barking again, it may bark louder and louder till it loses its energy and faints off. Whereas if an youngster, a young boy or a girl entering into the same mirror room, you can see them, their ability to appreciate their beauty. They may look on all the sides, they may even adjust their hair, they may adjust their dress, they may look from different angles, and they enjoy themselves. This is a very small example to show that human beings have intellect. Having the knowledge or know-how, we can see in the last, especially in the last year, that we could control the pandemic. Human could even find a solution for such things. Having any knowledge gives people a lot of potential. The knowledge with the potential you have, you can do multiple things. The knowledge can be understood in different ways. People, the knowledge, when we say, it need not be something great. It can be even a small thing, or how to handle normal brush in the morning, how we brush our teeth, or how we make a cup of coffee. It can be even that small thing, how to do that. The know-how of making a coffee, or from this to even the rocket science of technology, or medical sciences. It can be any field. Human beings can obtain the knowledge. As I said, the knowledge can be obtained in 3 ways. People understand something correctly. At times, we don't bother to understand. At times, we wrongly understand. Apprehension, non-apprehension, and misapprehension. Like let us take the example of making a coffee. If someone makes a good coffee, the person who makes it as well as the person who consumes it, both will enjoy. Whereas some people say, I don't bother to make it. Let somebody get me that. That's fine. Or if someone has a misapprehension, they may mess up making the coffee, and the person who makes it as well as who consumes it, both have a tough time. This is, in Sanskrit, we call it as grahanam, agrahanam, anyata grahanam. Apprehension, that is correctly understanding something, correctly apprehending something, we call it as grahanam. What one doesn't, who is not non-apprehension, is called as agrahana, and misapprehension called as anyata grahana. Grahanam, agrahanam, and anyata grahana. With this, it doesn't mean that one is always in the grahana mode or agrahana mode or anyata. Every day, every small task what we do, at times we will be in one mode, at times we will be in the other mode, or at times we will be in the third mode. It keeps happening with different activities in life. So with the knowledge obtained or with the know-how, one gets an attitude how to handle the situation. The attitude leads you to expectation, and the expectation culminates into action. But in our real life, these 4 processes are not so clearly visible. It happens in quick succession that we don't even realize that these are happening. Another very lively example. Let's think that we are sitting in a open space, common space, maybe a lounge or something, and someone who passes by trips on our leg. So when he trips, immediate react and disturbs us, immediate our reaction will be, and if that person doesn't even the immediate our attitude will be, we feel that why is he walking like that? He doesn't even have the basic courtesy to ask a sorry, and you expect him to excuse. He and subsequently, if we are in a bad mood, we may even scream at that person. After a couple of minutes, if you happen to meet that person who tripped us, and if you come to know that he's a visually challenged person, our judgment changes. The insight that we got that he's a blind person, that gives us a total change in the attitude. The anger which was there in us changes to sympathy or compassion. And we expected him to ask sorry. Instead, we may go and help him out. The expectation changes and the action is changes. So the information or the insight of any small thing leads to all these things. So understanding correctly grahanam, agrahanam, and anyata grahanam can change our activity, our expectation, our attitude. Having known this, is ignorance bliss? May not be always. If I happen to drive in the road in whichever way I want or wherever I want, the police may find me if I'm going on a one way. So ignorance is always not bliss. At times it may be a blister. So with the acquired knowledge, human can evolve to the required destination, the evolving further and reaching the final destination of the human life form, the purpose of human life form, the salvation or the liberation or mukti. That should be the purpose. That should be the destination. Every living being earns for happiness and seeks freedom from pain and suffering. So our goal too should be to attain happiness and be free from all the pain and suffering of the life. Having said that, let us move on to the life. As I said, it's just an acronym. L of life can be equated to love, I for inquiry, and F for flow, and E for eternity. L-I-F-E, love, inquiry, flow, and eternity. So let's start with the first step of love. Love, such a beautiful word, such a simple word, such a very common word. Unfortunately, it is the most misinterpreted word or misunderstood word. Most of us think that a relation between a man and a woman is called love. Need not be. I love a sweet. I love this dress. I love a person. We like anything because of something in it. I love my father. That doesn't mean I agree to all his words. I love my brother. He too has many differences in his views. I love my son very much. That doesn't mean he listens to all of my views. So we love in spite of everything. So let me give you another common anecdote in this regarding love. There was a king who developed some unusual illness. Most of the physicians in the kingdom tried to set it right. It was not like the corona. It was not a pandemic. Only the king had that. Everybody tried to sort it out, but no way. It was no respite. The king started losing health. His health deteriorated and he started losing interest in the kingdom. So one fine day, another physician from some other kingdom happened to visit this country and thoroughly checked the king. And he said, it's very simple. I can give you a remedy. You can, next 1 week, kindly see only one color from morning to evening. That will solve the problem. Quite simple. So the physician said, kindly, you need to see only green color. Kindly make sure the king sees only green color throughout the day. The words sounded quite simple, but the courts, the people, the palace, everyone had a tough time to change the entire palace, paint the palace with green, change everything to green. Day 1 passed with much difficulty. The day 2 started. By then, the princess, the little girl, came running to the dad. And he said, Dad, what's happening? So much of commotion in the palace. What's happening? Then the dad had to explain him that I need to see only green. The simple girl with very simple innocence, she just said, why do you do this? Why do you paint the whole palace green? You need to just wear a green glass. You look through that. That makes everything simple. Everything what you see with the green glass will make you look green. So you be the change. So the king started wearing a green glass. Let's wear a glass of love. Another people commonly say that is, we need to walk along. We can't carpet the entire earth to avoid the thorns or dust or the stones which are on the road. We can't carpet the entire world. Instead, wear a good footwear or a shoe. That solves the problem. So you be the change. Let's be the change. The world is nothing but an echo of our personality. Like the king wore a green glass, let's wear the glass of love and see the world. Give out love so that the world rebounds us with love on us. Love is it's a choice between aging and growing old. Start loving your life. What is past can't be undone. But from now on, every moment, let's love our life. Individually, make sure you consciously love your life, irrespective of whatever position you are. Love your life every moment. We know that the end need to come. Once you're gone, we need to die. व्याघ्रीव तिष्ठति जरा परित्यजन्ति रोगाश्च शत्रवैव प्रहरन्ति देहम् आयुः परिस्रवति भिन्नघटात्यम्बः लोकस्तथा हितम् आचरतीति चित्रम्. This is a verse from Bhartrhari's Vairagya Shatakam. He says very beautifully that Vyagriva tishtati jara, the old age is waiting like a tigress. It's going to hit us. It's going to slap us any moment. And the diseases are waiting like enemies to engulf us, engulf our body. Ayuhu parisravati. The life, our lifetime is slowly reducing, like the water leaks from a cracked pot. In spite of that, we are just oblivious and we are just cool. Isn't it a surprise? So after all, it is our body, our life. Let's enjoy it. Let's love it. Let's love our family and our neighbors instead of having, this is mine, that's not mine. So let's break the domestic walls which divide the mankind, embrace the entire creation in a joyous vision of oneness that knows no barriers. I, you, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. When we seek and discover the experience of our essential oneness with our substance of truth, the Lord, the Supreme Lord of love, of devotion. So Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the earth is a family. It's a single family. Let's embrace it with love. The love is work is love made visible. A mother You can see that with her love, unconditional love, unselfish love, takes care of her children, family, endlessly. If she considers that, oh, I have to do this task, mother's job is not a joke, especially when she has a small child. It's not a joke. In spite of the fatigue, physically, mentally, she considers it as she doesn't consider that it's just a work. She does it with love. So that work is love made visible. You can see the bee collecting drop by drop the honey, and the end result is so sweet. Love your body. The body, which is made of flesh and bones, is a place where the soul resides. If the body perishes, that's it, you're gone. If so, love all of us, every part of a body is made of the 5 elements. So as my body, as is yours. The same life force enlivens everyone. All are me. So this identification brings us a huge amount of happiness, joy, and peace. Love your mind and intellect. When the mind is agitated, you can feel that the body is also agitated. Wherever the body goes, the mind follows. When the body and mind are agitated, you can feel that the breath, it's not in the normal pace. It's unrhythmic. The prana flows not uniformly all over the body. It flows in wrong direction. Instead of pervading smoothly, it will vibrate in unequal, unrhythmic rate. So with that agitated mind and the prana going here and there, the food, what we consume, may not get digested properly, which leads to disease and so on. The issues continue. So if the primary cause is removed, then all the diseases or all the after effects can be avoided. So when we have a controlled mind, you can have a control over the body. The body is only a shadow of our mind. It is a mold prepared by the mind for its expression. The body becomes your slave when you have conquered the mind. The joy of driving a vehicle is only when we have the total control over it. The joy of life is only when one has total integration within. Integrate yourself, take care of your body, health, body's health, mind's purity, and intellect's clarity. Love your solitude. Many of us are scared to live alone. Loneliness, people say it's a scary thing. Especially in old age, people feel that loneliness is a scary thing. Let's not go to loneliness or get dejected. Aloneness. You can be in solitude and enjoy the solitude. Love your solitude. Talk to yourself. Many of us, being scared of being alone, whether young or old, try to depend on or engulf us amidst people, friends, relatives, or if not, the gadgets. People don't want to be alone. No, try to talk to yourself. You can feel that the inner energy, the inner voice can be heard. It guides you so well. Many of us literally push it down, the inner voice. Listen to the inner voice. It can take us, it can take us ahead. Love thyself. Truth is that we are unable to love others because we don't know how to love ourselves. Love ourselves. Many of us are not happy with our own self. Maybe the physical appearance, maybe the attributes what we have. Maybe I'm short, maybe I'm not good looking, maybe I don't have that great quality like others. No, accept what you are. I'm not going to increase my height within no time just because I feel bad for it. No. So love thyself with whatever you have. Accept yourself so that once you start, so many have, when you are thinking of yourself or when you start loving yourself, so many feel ashamed or they even feel they have a guilt feeling. Come out of that. No need to the inferiority complex and things like that. Come out of that so that you can love thyself. English, the sayings is generally, I fell in love with someone. So don't fall in love. Instead, love for rise and growth. Sage Valmiki, indeed, who was transformed Ratnakar, he directed his love towards the higher self, brings out the best in person at all levels, physical, mental, intellectual, and spiritual. So there is no falling in love. It's only rise and growth, the transformation. A creeper is not born with a support. It finds one. If we love the self, we will not be victims, but the masters of circumstances. We all understand things that really matter and grow beautifully. Love all, because in everyone, in every creature, Lord abides. Behold the Lord in all the objects, in all manifestations. A great Tamil poet, Bharati, said that Kakai Siraginile Nandalala, un Kariya Niram Tondrudaya Nandalala. He just saw a flying black crow. Seeing that, he could see Lord Krishna in that. So behold the Lord in all objects, in all manifestations. So having dwelled upon in love, let's move on to the next step, inquiry. Eye of life, inquiry. Question everything. Power of self-questioning. This gives us the inner drive. Most of us, we have not at all known our true identity. Ignorance of the self itself is a pain. Happiness cannot remain without the knowledge of the self. One can surely derive transient happiness from material things. A fine dining experience gives us joy. Try doing it continuously for a few days. You'll get bored. You would start nauseating. A trip to a nice resort, a hill station, or a beach. It's highly relaxing. After just a few days, the charm of the place wears out. Eagerly awaited vacation trip to some place after hectic running around and visiting it dies down, and finally the heart cries, home, sweet home, and longs for the comfort of our home. So these material happiness are just temporary and it cannot be called as true happiness. So what is true happiness? That is obtained once you start doing the inner drive of self-questioning. Who am I? $1 million question, which many great saints have started asking. Who am I? Am I the body? This is my watch. This is my dress. This is my home. This is my head. So this belongs to me. This dress belongs to me. So too the body. So this body is not me. This is my belonging and not me. Am I the mind? The mind projects lot of images. When we go to sleep, in dream, the mind projects lot of pictures. We may be in our bed, sleeping, but the mind takes us to various places. It makes us meet with several people. It makes us eat, drink, so many things. The mind projects a lot of things. If one sits for meditation, you can feel the body may be physically sitting in a place. But whereas the mind takes you to all other places all around the world with a world, as if it has got a world tour ticket. So am I the mind? Let's analyze, let's see another very common, very popular fable of the king Janaka. The king Janaka of Mithila, once he was he was fighting a war. After a fierce war, unfortunately, he lost the war. He was taken to the king who has won the war. Though that king said that, oh Lord, I know you are a great king. I don't want to put you in prison, or neither I want to kill you. Please, I'm giving you life. So please move away, go away from my kingdom and take care of your life. Janaka, with so much of shame and disgust and sadness, walks out of the palace and moves out of the kingdom. As he crossed that kingdom, he reached the next place where he saw someone serving food. After the physical and mental fatigue, he was really hungry. He thought, why not me? I get some food to eat. As he went there, by the time his turn came, the person said, the food is over. Hardly a few spoons are left. So even not bothered, he collected that small couple of spoons of food, and Janaka started, he was about to eat that, but unfortunately he tripped and falls down. He shrieks and falls on the ground. Hearing the sound, a warrior comes and says, "Oh Lord, did you call me?" Janaka wakes up. He sees that he is in his royal chamber. He can see that near his bed, besides his bed, a bowl full of fresh fruits, a golden jug of water. But Janaka and the warrior asking, "Sir, Lord, do you need me? Any help needed?" Janaka now knows that that was a dream. In the dream, he was hungry, he was thirsty, he was feeling so sad and pathetic. But now he is in his royal chamber. Next morning in his court, he poses the question, is that true or is this? Am I the king? Is this true or am I a beggar? Which is true? All his ministers discuss and tell the king that, oh Lord, you are a king. We are all here to serve you. Forget it. That was just a dream. But Janaka was not convinced. So this question, is that true or is this? That poses in his mind. He's pondering over it. And Ashtavakra, sage Ashtavakra, happens to visit the kingdom, and the king poses the same doubt. He again asks, you said, who was hungry? The king said, yeah, I saw me hungry and I was so thirsty. I was walking in the hot sun, losing my kingdom and with no warriors around. I was walking alone. And now the king says, you said that you had a jug full of water. So why can't you drink that? The king says, I didn't see that in my dream. Yeah, you need a dream water to quench your dream thirst. When you're awake, you need other water to quench your, when you're awake, when the thirst, when you're awake. So neither that. So who was feeling that you are hungry? And who is saying that I'm sitting on the royal throne? It's me, it's I. So Ashtavakra clarifies in that neither that is true nor this is true. You are in the awakened state, and that time you were in the dream state. Awakened state as well as the dream state, both are not you, but who was watching it. So he feels that someone who was watching it, the witness or the sakshi, that was me who was seeing that. Similarly, this, I think most of us undergo awakened state, dream state, as well as deep sleep state. After a comfortable deep sleep, once we get up, once we wake up, we say that I had a good sleep. So, but when we were having a deep sleep, we don't know where we were sleeping. Everybody's sleep is same, whether it's a beggar or for a great millionaire. So everybody's sleep is the same. Everybody gets a similar type of sleep. So deep sleep or dream state or waking state, none of them are, all are actually somebody else is watching all these three, who is the sakshi or the witness. So I'm not the mind. Am I the intellect? Intellect gives you suggestions based on the knowledge, what you have acquired. Like if you're going to do something new, it may not have enough information. Otherwise, if you've done that prayer, it based on the past experience, it will give you some suggestions how to go about it. So intellect is also not us. So leave the past, else it will destroy the future. Life is willing to offer us so many things. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi terms self-inquiry as the most sacred of sacred. It's an awareness of the awareness itself. Who am I? Brings us closer to our real nature. Learn the art of living. Holding on to material things will only lead to misery. Another small anecdote, which all of us may be familiar. A person had a big bowl of bananas. A monkey who was watching it used to come and take it. This guy got really fed up that this monkey is taking it. So he changed the bowl into a narrow pot which had a narrow opening. He put the bananas in it and kept near the window. The monkey was smart enough. He came again. He put his hand inside the jug, caught hold of the banana, gave a good grin that I could achieve. But when he was trying to take it out, his hand got stuck. Now that man came and started thrashing the monkey. The monkey can avoid the thrash if he leaves the banana, but he wants it, so you get the thrash. So they learn the art of leaving to material things so that we move forward. The purpose of inquiry is not to actually find an answer in the usual sense, but simply to use the question to our present experience as a starting point of our exploration. Let the question remain open-ended. Having gone through the L and I of life, let's move on to the F part of the life. F is flow. As we say flow, we think of water. Water, adaptability. The path of least resistance. Water just flows. Let the life flow. Let's be in a relaxed attitude. In general terms, let's go about our daily routine with a relaxed attitude based on the total basic understanding that nothing at all can happen unless it's supposed to happen according to our destiny, according to the cosmic law. No one is a doer, but rather all actions are happening ordained by the one source. Ahankara vimudatma kartahamiti manyate. Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita. He says that the vimudatma, the foolish mind, which is egoistic, ahankara vimudatma, he feels that karta aham karta iti manyate. It thinks that I am the doer. It is to perceive ourselves as the doers is like the river thinking that it's pushing itself onwards to the sea, or the sea thinking that the tides are its own doing, totally oblivious of the fact that it's the force of the earth and the moon which is causing the tide and which is responsible for their ebb and flow. So the law of karma keeps up the inner harmony and the logical order of the universe. So I'm the machine and he is the operator. Accept the power of acceptance and unconditional acceptance. So accept everyone and everything as they come in the life. So whether it is the weal or woe, happiness or misery, affluence or poverty, birth or death, whatever we meet in our life, let's accept it wholeheartedly within and God overhead with a prasada bhava, acceptance, prasada bhava. Will of providence. So the God or the Lord is there to take care of us. So let's not bother what is happening to us. He'll take care of us. Positive mindset. Nothing is permanent. Everything changes. The change alone is the changeless thing in life. The Lord of things can happen that will transform us, have an impact on our life. So let's go with the way the life takes us. Having gone through the 3 steps, let's move on to the eternity, the last step of E, L-I-F-E, eternity. Self-realization is simply the realization of our ego itself. It's not a separate, we are not the separate doer, that the doing is merely a happening through a human mechanism, or we are considered as just as an instrument. This understanding annihilates the guilt or shame, pride, and arrogance that accompany the sense of personal doership. The result is an enormous sense of freedom, of peace, and harmony. Here, I would like one more small, very common known story, the Princess of Kashi. Many of you would have heard it. In a kingdom, there was a cultural program being organized for a festival. The queen arranged the program, and she wanted, there was a drama to be enacted, the Princess of Kashi. They wanted a princess. So for that role, the queen chose her son, the prince, a small little boy, as the Princess of Kashi. The child was decked up as Princess of Kashi, and the act was staged, and it was a big hit. As like today, we don't have a mobile or camera to click. The queen decided to call a painter and made a portrait of the child who was decked up as the Princess of Kashi. Beautiful portrait was made, and years passed by. The prince grew up to a handsome young man, and he was about to take up the responsibility as a king from his dad. By then, once he happened to see, he was exploring the palace, and once he happens to see this portrait, and there was a date written below. Seeing that, he felt that this girl would have been of my age. She looks beautiful. If I marry, I should marry this girl. So he discussed this with his mom, and he came and opened the topic to his mom and the ministers that I'm in love with a girl. So people started asking, who is she? She's a Princess of Kashi. Oh, is it? That's fine. So when did you meet her? I have not met her. I've just seen her picture. So everyone, the queen was happy, and the prince takes her to the portrait. The queen says that this is none other than you. Realize that it is you. The king's wish is not fulfilled. He comes to know that it was he who is in the picture also as a girl. Many a times, in general, when our will or wishes are fulfilled, we feel happy. Otherwise, we get angry or we are depressed. But at times when we realize the truth, we don't feel bad or we don't feel sad. So here, the Princess of Kashi, the prince accepts or understands, he gets the insight that he himself is a princess and he can't marry him. So live life without the feeling of I-ness. I, ahankara, mamakaram, mine, I and mine are the things which shake us so much. So let's try to live without the feeling of I-ness. This gives you to live without attachment. Restrain the senses, observe the rules of the right contact so that we can live comfortably. The bliss in the self. So, and enjoy the freedom inward and outward. So proper understanding of the Vedanta or the scriptures and the principles in our daily life gives us, it will surely bring us peace, solace, and happiness to a world which is distracted by war, communal strifes, petty quarrels, and religious fights. Let's leave all those things. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Let's live with embracing everyone with love. Our life will become a masterpiece when we learn to master peace. So having gone through LIFE in this pattern, let's look at life with a slightly different perspective. Love can also be equated to bhakti, devotion. Bhakti can be different types of love. Matru, Pitru Bhakti. Prema Bhakti, bhakti in the spouse. Guru Bhakti, the devotion or the respect towards the teacher. Dasya Bhakti, Sakhya Bhakti, a bhakti or a love with a friend, and Vatsalya Bhakti. So bhakti or devotion or a love can be with anyone. It's committed to the loved one. I, inquiry, can be equated to jnana, jnana yoga, jnana vichara, one-pointedness or the focused vichara. So self-inquiry or contemplation, the knowledge removes the wheels of illusion created by various concepts, worldviews, and perceptions. This practice allows one to realize the temporary and illusionary world and the nature of Maya and to see the oneness of the things. The pursuit of true knowledge, of learning how to control our mind and the senses to center ourselves in the spiritual gifts. So we seek the guidance of a guru or a teacher to help us to realize the thing. To do a jnana vichara, we seek guru. Another simple, very common parable, the 10th man. 10 people walk upon and they go to a river to take bath. After a good time in the river, they return and one among them started counting them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, where is the 10th man? Another person, just to reconfirm, counts. He also says 9. So where is the 10th man? Alas, all of them feel that the 10th man is dead. They all feel gloomy. The happiness what they had while having the bath is gone. They were so gloomy. Why then a passerby who sees them, he could make out that he can solve their issue. He comes, talks to them. He says that I can show you your 10th man. Is it? Is he not dead? No, he is not dead. He is very much alive. Your 10th man is alive. So he makes one among them count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and turns him towards himself. You are the 10th man. Is it? I am alive. The 10th man is alive. One more person to reconfirm. Read again counts. Recounts. So the guru turns you inwards. Till now, our vision is always external, outwards. The guru turns it inwards. We are all stuck in the net of Maya, Maya Jala. Actually, what is a net? Though we say that we are stuck in a net of Maya, the net is full of holes. If you feel, you can come out of it. The holes will give us a freedom to come out of it. F or flow is the karma yoga or the path of unselfishness, unselfish action, doing our duty without attachment, whether we like the task in our daily core or not, accept it, do it wholeheartedly so that it comes out our best. If one follows LIF, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Karma Yoga, you are sure you will reach the final destination, ultimate destination of moksha, liberation, or eternity. LIFE leads you to the ultimate destination of moksha, mukti. So this can also be considered as dharma, artha, kama, and moksha, the Chatur Purushartha. So having said that, LIFE as the Bhakti Yoga, Bhakti Marga, Jnana Marga, Karma Marga, and Moksha. So let's request Lord, O Lord, the Brahma Satyam, which is the Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha Mukta, omniscient, omnipotent Lord, please reduce my I, reduce my ego, and make me aware of the false world, Jagan Mithya, this empirical reality of this false world, and take me to the end of evolution, evolve me to the end of evolution. Oh Lord, reduce my I ego and make me aware of this Jagan Mithya and evolve me out of it. Now, coming to the end of the session, you are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Dhanyavadaha. I thank all of you for listening to me, for bearing with me. Thank you, School of Ancient Wisdom, for giving me such a wonderful opportunity to talk in front of all of you. Hope it was okay in amidst this great crowd. Thank you all. I thank all my folks who have helped me to do this, achieve this today's talk in this way. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jayasree. It was so interesting, so informative. And the acronym LIFE in life was so good. You know, your first one, which was love, reminded me of our founder, Mrs. Manize Seth, who said love is the only currency in the world. And you beautifully brought about everything from Sanskrit quoted, anecdotes, King Janaka, Tamil poets. So it was really, you condensed a lot of stuff and brought it out so beautifully. But before we go on, I would like to ask people if there are any questions. Kindly unmute yourself and ask Jayasree the questions. Any questions?
I have one clarification. Jayasree Madam, I am Janaki Ram.
Yeah, please.
Your presentation was very comprehensive and you gave a beautiful explanation of life in life.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
From your biodata, I saw long-term life goals. So what is the advice you can give to people like us, long-term life goals?
The life takes you in its route. As I said, let's love the life and let's move on. It will take you. We need not search for the path. It will take you to the right route. Embracing everyone with love is your goal. You can have anything as your goal. It's individually we can have any goal.
You know, from your experience, because you left the corporate life and came to this, what triggered that process?
Okay, leaving the corporate life, MNC life, that was a different road I was traveling actually. Hectic life, juggling between the family, office, passion, so many things. I was literally juggling multiple balls and I don't want to drop anything also. So finally, and it need to be handled carefully. So what I could drop or what I could leave was the corporate life.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? Anyone? There are a lot of people on the chat saying, thanking you and saying how wonderful your talk was, Jayasree. If you look at the chat, there are lots of people who've said that. Are there any questions? I don't hear. Anybody else? Any clarifications, questions?
Yeah, this is
Yes, go
Professor
ahead.
Balasubramanian. This is Professor Balasubramanian from Hyderabad. I'm
Okay.
Mr. Janakram's friend.
Okay.
Yeah, classmate. I just wanted to find out whether you have for ladies a different kind of suggestions. Do you have anything special for the ladies? This is
In the sense, I didn't get
question
your,
which comes
you
to
can be
mind.
more elaborative in your query, please.
You see, I think many of the women, they are basically they are not really getting into any professional life, and then they are not spending their life with except for taking care of the house and all that. They are not really having that satisfaction of having done something in life. After all,
Okay.
I can understand the basic Vedic philosophy. Anyway, we are not going to really, this is our realize what self is, and then we have to be going nearer to that. That is understood, and for that, anyway, for a man or a woman, there is no difference. But for normal living, um, what do you feel, should be done?
You,
Especially
I fully agree with. I
for
fully
the
agree with
women.
few of
Yeah,
your.
yeah.
I fully agree with few of your points that whether it's a man or a woman, each one need to have his clarity in what they do. Like, I can be very career oriented. There is nothing wrong in it. There are many who are very career oriented. For them, the priority is career. There are many CEOs, women CEOs. There are many people who have even ruled the country, many women. So there is nothing wrong in what they are doing. It is individual's choice. Agreed.
Agreed.
There is some echo coming
There is
up.
some echo
So
coming up. So
it is individual who take up what they want. If we are clear with what is our goal or what is our path, what suits us, many a times we are not clear. That is why the self-inquiry helps us. In fact, youngsters, right now, when you ask any teenage kids who are in 10th or 11th, ask them, what do you want to become? Many times they're not very clear what they want to become. Earlier days, okay, engineer, doctor, whatever it is. Now the kids are not that way. They say that I don't want to become a doctor. I don't want to become a lawyer. I don't want to. So they are clear in what they don't want to become. So remove what is not needed. From the thing, the husk is removed. So automatically what is needed, the core stuff comes back. Neti. So remove it, what is not needed, so that you get what you actually want. But initially, at times, we don't know. We may go step in few wrong roads. We may come back. There is nothing wrong. So it's individual who choose whether the family, whether it is a career, whether whatever it is. Individual can choose it.
True.
And they can
True,
succeed
agreed.
in.
But some of the ladies, they even just wonder whether they should get married at all, and things like that. Very
If they
strange
feel
feelings.
marriage is
Anyway,
a bond, marriage is binding them, they may go that way. It's individual's choice. It's not only ladies, even men. It is, if they feel
yeah,
it is binding them, they may choose not to go for it. It's all individual's choice. There is
it
nothing
is
right or
choice, no
wrong.
doubt. They, but is it not better for everybody, unless they become a sannyasi or something like that? Why they should not get married anyway? What is the idea in that? See, after all, everybody has got all these passions and so on, and then we have to, get ourselves satisfied with, these our basic requirements, like any other requirement. So why it can't be done in a very nice, proper way? And then, why we should think that we should not, we need not even get married and things like that. And it stands in the way of our profession. Actually, all the ladies also should do whatever best they can do in both, in every possible way. And the men also will have to be anyway assisting them. There is no longer, men just going to office and women just sitting at home and taking care of the family or something like that. See, otherwise, I don't find that there is really any purpose in life. That is also there. See, you have to anyway. Ultimately, all of us have to reach and then merge with the Paramatma.
Having said what you just now said, let me think. If there is a buffet of various stuff in front of me, it is me who choose what I want to eat. I may be going only for sweets, desserts, or I may go only for the some health food. It is individual's choice. But there is, as you said, there is nothing called this is right, that is right. If someone wants, they can eat only the salad, or someone may taste everything on the table, what is spread on the table. It's all individual's choice. There is nothing, this is right, that is not right, and this is better, nothing like that. It's individual's choice.
Thank you so much. There's also one more question.
Thank you.
Geeta wants to know about your Sanskrit journey.
Thanks, Geeta, for introducing me to this forum. A few years back, I started my Sanskrit journey. Unfortunately, I didn't have a opportunity to learn Sanskrit during my school age, which I still feel that we couldn't get the chance where I was brought up. So, but still, we could get it now. And luckily, I'm blessed with a very good Sanskrit teacher, Dr. Sudha, who guides us so well, due to which I'm in this position right now. So thanks to Dr. Sudha.
Thank you so much. And maybe next time we could get you to talk on Sanskrit, because you quoted so beautifully while you were talking. Sanskrit, Tamil, all the anecdotes, stories, a lot that you did during this time. Any more questions, anyone? No, I don't see anything in the chat box also. So if that is it, then all I'd like to say is I really thank you. And I think you must visit the school. It's a beautiful place. We'd love to have you at the school and have a proper weekend seminar or something. All right?
My pleasure.
Great. Now I request Malti ji to propose a vote of thanks.
Right. Thank you so much for this very interesting talk. When I heard you are talking on life in life, I was very curious, to know what you would be talking about. But I must say that I am sure the participants also will totally agree with me that it was absolutely brilliant. On behalf of the School of Ancient Wisdom and the organizers, I thank you once again, ma'am. And now, if Ramesh is around, could you please conclude this session with the Shanti Mantra? Over to you, Ramesh. Are you around?
Yes, I am, Malti.
Okay, dear. So you take over now and finish the program. Thanks so much. Yeah.
Most welcome. Now, before we do the Loka Samasta, I'd like to thank Jayasree ji. It was a very nice session, very gentle. In fact, it put me in a meditative state, even as you spoke. So, and it was a very kind of harmonious experience. So, on that note, let us all sit straight with our back, neck, and head aligned. Take a deep breath and let go. Let us center ourselves within the space of love and harmony as we do the Loka Samasta today. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Brahmarpanamastu.
Thank you, Ramesh. And